Hello everyone, welcome to mvpvishwakosha. Today we are discussing 9th October 2025 current affairs. In that first point, that is about World Bank's revised forecast of 6.5% for India's growth, okay, in Indian economy. So here that World Bank has revised its growth forecast of India in financial year 2025-26, okay. So that is upward to 6.5% from its earlier estimate of 6.3%. So very important, and also simultaneously it has trimmed its estimated that financial year 2026-27 to 6.3%. Okay, and also the upward revision is supported by strong that is our first quarter April-June 2020, which is showed a 7.8% year-on-year growth. Okay. And also the bank notes that domestic conditions, particularly in agriculture, rural wages, and consumption, have been better than anticipated. Okay, and also that banks warns headwinds from the rising US tariffs that could dampen export growth in the external demand. Okay, important that some of that benchmark for expectations, policy relevance, and all that rise assessment, and also in that. That is the April-June 2025 quarter that is surprised with the 7.8% growth is there, right? So all that is very, very important. And also reforms to GST are expected to improve in economic activity, right? And so that strong initial performance and consumption and rural recovery and investment momentum, reform and tax changes and contained inflation and monetary space. Okay, all that perspective it is very, very important. Okay? So that is about World Bank's latest report of India's forecast of Indian economy 6.5%. Next news that is about Moscow format meeting. Okay, here the Moscow format is a consultative diplomatic format convened by Russia that, to discuss the Afghanistan issue with the regional states and stakeholders. It is a not a formal institution. Okay, it is not having any permanent secretariat and all, but functions as a platform for dialogue on security, political reconciliation, and regional cooperation relating to Afghanistan. And also, it is aims to bring together Afghan parties and neighboring and regional countries to coordinate approaches, reduce tensions, and foster cooperation in stabilizing Afghanistan. Okay, some of the member countries in recent that seventh Moscow format meeting held. Okay, main members of that Afghanistan Taliban government. Okay, and also Russia, yeah, is host country, and India, Pakistan, China, Iran, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan, as reported in some accounts. Okay, and all that perspective that member countries are very, very important. Okay, so that is about that is seventh Moscow format meeting that was held in Moscow. Next news that is about recent that is 2025 Nobel Prize in Physics. Okay, so that the Royal Swedish Academy of Science announced the Nobel Prize in Physics 2025. That Laurent, that is John Clerk, Michael O. Dewart, and John M. Martin. Okay, they received equal shares of the prize and the given for the discovery of macroscopic quantum mechanical tunneling and energy quantization in an electric circuit. Okay, this the work underlying the award. Okay, expert experiment in 1980s superconducting circuits. Okay, very important that quantum tunneling and energy quantization in a microscopic unit. That quantum tunneling is a quantum phenomena whereby a particle crosses a barrier that classically it should be able to cross. Okay, and also because of its energy is lower than its barrier height, and also energy quantization means energy levels are discrete rather than continuous central quantum idea. Okay, all that perspective it is very, very important, and superconducting circuit. Okay, why it is important? Because the gap between quantum mechanics, okay, microscopic world, and macroscopic classic world, showing that quantum rules can manifest in system large enough to be engineered. So it paves the way to quantum technologies. Okay, quantum computers, quantum sensors, quantum cryptography, because of needs of control quantum states in scalable ways. Okay, that's why very important. That is 2025 Nobel Prize in Physics, that is Clerk, Deverett, and Martins. Okay, that is about 2025. That is Nobel Prize in Physics. Next news that is about polar silk route. Okay, that is Arctic shipping. That is Russia's rule. That is the polar silk route is also called as Arctic Silk Road or Northern Sea Route. Okay, it is China's vision of a shipping and connectivity corridor through the Arctic Ocean, linking East Asia to Europe, North America, or a shorter, higher latitude routes. Okay, it built on concept of North Sea route along Russia's Arctic coast. Okay, and also this idea is to melting ice to open new passageways and also reducing distance and time compared to traditional sea lanes. It is Suez, Panama, or ongoing around Africa. So that's why polar silk route is often presented as part of China's Belt and Road and Maritime Silk Road vision extended in Arctic region. So in this, Russia's role is that central to any Arctic shipping connectivity path because that North Sea route that runs along Arctic coastline, Russia treats it as a domestic route under the jurisdiction. And Russia has the largest icebreaker fleet in the world and has invested heavily in Arctic infrastructure, ports, navigation, its logistic and in that region. Okay, so that's why it is very important. Okay, and also you should know about that is Istanbul bridge voyage via Arctic, and also in that emission and environmental warnings and icebreak demand and Russia-China competition. Strategically, Russia-China Arctic cooperations, all that perspective, it is very important. Okay, so that is about that is polar silk route or northern sea route. Next news that is about recent Madhya Pradesh joint exercise of army with that is army, navy, air force. Okay, cold start drone, counter drone drill. In this, the exercise is called exercise cold start. Okay, and also cold start doctrine. This is the new joint drill focusing on drone and counter drone warfare. When scheduled from that 6th October to 10th October 2025, Madhya Pradesh. All three services, Army, Navy, Air Force will participate, plus defense R&D agencies and other stakeholders. Main aim is to testing integration of drone and counter drone system in joint operations and also assessing operational readiness against evolving aerial threats and identifying gaps in air defense and anti-drone capabilities and also drawing lessons from Operation Sindhu, right? So that's why recent India-Pakistan confirming. That's why that integrated defense staff under chief defense staff for the exercise is monitored. So that joint service drill is in central India focused on emerging domain of drone warfare and anti-drone measures. Okay, that's why very important that exercise and all drones, UAVs and all that counter drone, anti UAVs. Okay, all that is very important. Okay, strategically it is very important. Okay, so that is about recent joint exercise among Indian services held in Madhya Pradesh. Next news that is about recent launch of foreign currency settlement system at GIFT IFSC by Ministry of Finance. So here that Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman inaugurated the foreign currency settlement system at GIFT cities, that is International Financial Service Center, during the global fintech fest in Mumbai. So that foreign currency settlement system is a payment or settlement infrastructure authorized under the Payment and Settlement System Act 2007 by the International Financial Service Center Authority, and also under the new system, foreign currency transaction between IFSC banking units can be settled locally. Okay, and also rather than via traditional correspondent banking routes. Okay, and also initially the system supported by US dollar transaction over the time, it may be expanded to other currencies also. And also standard chartered bank IBU, okay, with the GIFT IFSC has been selected as the settlement bank for USD clearance. The operator of the system will be CCIL IFSC Limited, a subsidiary of Clearing Corporation of India. The software development is assigned to Indian Financial Technology and Allied Service, a wholly owned subsidiary of RB. The settlement time is expected to condense dramatically. What earlier took 36 to 48 hours via correspondent banking will now approach real-time or near real-time settlement. And that's why it is very important. So that is improving efficiency, liquidity, and reducing risk and strategically geopolitical significance. It is very important. Okay? So that is about the recent that is International Financial Service Center located in India, okay, in Gujarat. Next news that is about UK PM visit India. Okay, in that UK Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer had made a first official visit to India. Okay, at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. He was accompanied by large delegation including numerous UK business leaders, university heads, ministers and cultural figures. So this visit followed India's July 2020 visit to the UK. During that, two countries signed India-UK Comprehensive Economic Trade Agreement, a very important agreement. Also, the visit included participation of the global fintech in Mumbai. Okay, very important that the trade and investment in that reaffirmation and push for ratification, implementation, and technology innovation connected to education and research, climate and energy, clean tech, and diplomatic strategic signaling. It is very, very important. And also strengthening economic diplomacy and new chapter in UK-India ties, okay, and strategical alignment and soft power and green and tech, critical mineral, all that geopolitical, multilateral backing and mutual benefit, okay, all that perspective, it is very, very important, okay. So that is about recent India-UK connectivity and innovation, okay, and UK PM's key Sharma's 2025 India visit. Next news, that is about recent India's that is para athletes that won 2020. Uh, 22 medal at the World Para Athletic Championship 2025. So 2025 World Para Athletic Championship were held from 27 September to 5th October 2025 at the Jawaharlal Nehru Stadium, New Delhi. So it was the first time India and South Asia hosted this championship. Okay, and also India fielded a 73-member contingent in this edition. The Indian para athlete achieved their best ever performance, winning 22 medals, okay, and in total 6 gold, 9 silver, and 7 bronze, finishing 10th overall in the medal tally, okay. And also the previous best for India was 17 medals, okay. And very important, Shailesh Kumar won gold men's high jump, and Simran Sharma won gold 100 meter, and Deepthi Jivanji won silver, and Atul Kaushik won bronze, okay. All that sports and inclusivity and social justice narrative, infrastructure, organization capacity, policy and investment validation, international soft power and global image, research technology support system, all that perspective is very, very important. Okay, so that is about recent 2025 World Para Athletics Championship India. Next news, that is about recent India's UPI, that is Unified Payment Interface, has been extended to Qatar. Okay. India has launched UPI, Unified Payment Interface service in Qatar, enabling Indian travelers, resident and merchant to use UPI for payment and retail outlets in Qatar. The move expands UPI international footprint. Qatar becomes the 8th country to officially adopt UPI payment. Okay, that UPI was first available at duty-free shops in Ahmad International Airport, Doha, and also UPI was expanded to Lulu Group stores, major retail outlets in Qatar. Payment transaction and are QR code based and scan and pay using existing UPI apps and infrastructure. Okay. That is Commerce Ministry participated in the launch in Doha to underscore the economic dimension of the expansion. Very important that digital and fintech diplomacy convenience in reduced cost for diaspora travelers, boost to remittance capital flows, strengthen bilateral ties, economic integration, okay, and also showcase India's digital leadership and strategic advance in Gulf, potential for further expansion. All that perspective, it is very, very important. Okay, so that is about India's UPI has been extended to that is Qatar. Next news, that is last news, that is about concern that mission Sudarshan Chakra. Okay, that is linking 6,000 to 7,000 radars. Okay, so here that mission Sudarshan Chakra is India's proposed multi-layered air missile defense, that is airspace shield network that integrate sensors, radars, satellites, weapons, and command and control infrastructure to detect, intercept, and neutralize aerial threats. And it was announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during 15th August 2025 Independence Day address. The project is planned to be rolled out in phases, and also with the medium-term and long-term goals. Okay, and also it is intended to function both shield, that's deterrent capability, and it is very important that target to 6,000 to 7,000 radars. Okay, integration of satellite and direct energy weapons and test prototype system already under trial. Okay, and also acquisition of AK-630 close-in weapon system and phased planning priority asset scope and participation in that. It's very, very important. Strategically, it is very important, and also indigenous Atmanirbhar push. Okay, all that perspective, it is very, very important. Okay, so that is about mission Sudarshan Chakra and 7,000 radars in that. Okay. So that is about 9th October 2025 current affairs. Thank you. Support me for further videos so that I can analyze all the topics required for UPSC and all competitive exams. Thank you.